Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, my friends. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a like. Leave me a comment, please. And by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. How is everybody today, guys? What an absolute beautiful, beautiful Friday and a beautiful day. As a lot of you guys know, Friday's my AA home group day. And again, every day I go there, it's beautiful, guys. It's just an amazing group of people. The wisdom, the shared experiences, and that's why I always say, I tell you guys on Fridays stuff. Find a group of like-minded people, and we're gonna touch upon that a little further for a minute, guys, because you know what? The whole topic of today is going to be about change and growth, and being able to take constructive criticism and being able to have somebody point out your shortcomings so that you can grow upon them, and you can expand and be a better person. Now, a big part of that is who you surround yourself with, and that's something I'm noticing today, guys. And I've talked about it. I had to cut out, basically every relationship I had in my life, and it brought a lot of good ones back in. And there are people that I wish the best for, that I wish I didn't have to leave behind, because there were some good people in my life, but they were just doing bad things, and I was in a bad place, and I can't go back there. That being said, guys, part of the reason that I can pay attention to anybody that points out a shortcoming of mine today is because I surround myself with good people. And in particular, I'm so blessed that I found the home group that I did for AA. I mean, they're just amazing people, guys. We did a reading today. It was about it was about sleep and early recovery, and it was amazing to me that the first 20 people speaking before I got to said basically everything I was going to say, because we're all have been through the same experiences, and there's just something so comforting about that. And then somebody may have a suggestion that might help you. You might have a suggestion to help somebody else, and that's what happens when you surround yourself with people that have similar interests, similar backgrounds, and again, a very, very diverse crowd, but we a similar interest, and whatever that may be. It doesn't have to be drugs, alcohol. It doesn't have to be recovery. It could be anything you're passionate about, but it's huge, guys. And the whole point of this channel is helping those in recovery, helping people that are having a hard time, and just in general trying to live a better life and sharing lessons that I've learned. And part of that is the company you keep, and I'm very intentional about the company I keep. Being that I work in the service industry, I'm still tied in certain ways to people from my former life, but I keep that to a minimum. And no matter how many times they try, no matter how hard they try, I keep it professional today, guys, because it's very, very, very important for me to keep my boundaries up. Because in particular, that's one of the issues I had in my addiction, is I had no boundaries, and I just let people walk all over me because I never did whatever reason. We'll get that, guys. The Just for Today NA meditation today is titled Change and Growth, and I actually changed the words because again I'm trying not to keep this just for people in recovery. There's a lot of people that aren't recovering alcoholics and addicts that message me back and forth, that get lessons out of it, and I love that. That means so much to me. It's great to think that I can actually provide a service to everybody, and that's awesome. Like, that lights me up. That gives me such purpose and such joy. So, change and growth. When somebody points out a shortcoming, our first reaction may be defensive. There will always be room for growth. Expansion, or it said recovery, but I'm going with expansion, is a process about change in our lives. We need that change if we are to continue to grow, continue our growth and freedom. It is important to remain open-minded when others point out our shortcomings. They are bringing to light opportunities for us to change and grow. Reacting defensively limits our ability to receive the help they're offering us. Letting go of our defenses opens the door for change and growth and new freedom. Every day brings a new opportunity for growth and change. The more we learn to greet change with an open mind and heart, the more we will grow. And then the affirmation is just for today. I will greet each opportunity for growth with an open mind. And guys, that brings me right back to my first point. It's the people that you surround yourself with. Because so many times, guys, when people are still actively suffering and they're feeling bad about themselves, they're going to want to make you feel bad, to bring you down to their level, to make themselves feel better. So in that case, you're going to get defensive, and they're going to, they may not be pointing out shortcomings, guys. They might be just trying to bring you down. So that's why it's incredibly important who you surround yourself with, right? Surround yourself with good people. People that, if they can't necessarily help you, they're certainly not trying to hurt you, right? They're not jealous, and they're not trying to keep you down. Because when you're around people like that, they will. if they see something that may be causing you trouble, and guys, nobody's saying it to make you feel bad about yourself. Somebody more than likely identifies with the similar behavior that they've changed in themselves, and they've got good results for it. And that's more than likely why they're pointing it up. Nobody's bringing things up to make anybody feel bad about themselves. We're here to lift each other up and to help each other through tough times, not belittle or make anybody feel bad. And most of us find that we go through the same things, no matter how different we all look and how different our day-to-day lives be. At the end of the day, we still have the same emotions. We still have the same fears and anxieties, and we have the same struggles and sometimes the same solutions, guys. For me, I welcome people to point out my shortcomings because I had a big problem with that, guys. Self-identification was a huge problem for me. I had paid so little attention to myself that I didn't know which end was up. Now, I was very fortunate in the fact that I dove headfirst into it, and I was lucky enough to be in rehab for a month, and I got to work with professionals, and I could be very open and honest with them, and I got a lot of really good feedback. But most of it was really just them asking me questions, and then me paying attention to my own answers of my own questions. And I was able to see most of my shortcomings. Well, not all, guys. I still have plenty of shortcomings. We all do. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's ever going to be. Perfection is a farce. It doesn't exist, and it's an excuse not to do anything, so don't get stuck in that. And don't, by any means, ever think I'm sitting up here trying to tell you that I'm healed and I have all the answers, guys. This I talk about all the time, and if you read it in the description of my channel, this is me sharing my experience, strength, and hope through my journey of recovery, because I'm learning every day. The lessons I learn, I share with you guys, are ones I'm actively going through on a daily basis. So no, I'm not by any means cured. I'm not by any means without shortcomings, without fault, without sin, without fail, or without anything else, guys. Believe me. But what I am is intentional, and I'm willing to do the work, and I'm willing to look at my shortcomings, and I'm willing to take those scary steps, because I had to early on, guys, because I was in a place where I had no choice. It was either like throw in the towel, and that's just not me, or a fight to change everything in my life, and I've done that, and it's working unbelievably well. I mean, there's a reason I'm happy to get on camera. Guys, I look forward to coming home and doing my videos, and even, like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday was a busy day. I was in the middle of a job that I need to get done. An emergency came up, and I went and took care of that emergency, and before I went back to the other job that had to get done, it was getting to be about 5 o'clock, and I'm like, that's it, man, it's video time. So I came home and I posted my video here and I did the stuff I need to do, and then I went back out and I finished the car, and I barely got home and ate dinner, and I get an emergency call for the building over in Roxbury. The fire alarm was going off. Not a trouble fault, but an actual fire alarm. So I had to fly out to Roxbury, and I was there till midnight last night, and that's rare. I don't work like that anymore, because that used to be my life, and that was one of my shortcomings, is I was a workaholic. I don't let that happen today, but in an emergency situation, I will respond, and that's the beauty of it, guys. I can find that balance. And always, I can find the balance and know what's an emergency and what's not. And not only that, but today I charge for it. And again, I don't like talk finances because I don't want, Anyway, the difference is, guys, I used to run around and do that, at anybody's beck and call, because it was, it was more convenient for people. And they were paying me peanuts to do it. It was a joke. I'd spend an extra, 4 hours a day, and it'd be a difference of $100 or $200 at the end of the week. Whereas opposed to now, I go out at 9 o'clock last night, and the second I hopped in my truck, it was $250, and then it was on top of that. And that's the beauty of what I got going on today. I found balance, but I also know my worth. And I'm happy to respond to calls that are going to be worth my time to do so. And that's just one more, it's one more lesson, guys. I should probably bring that up more, but I don't want people to ever think that I'm getting on here and saying I'm a baller, because I'm not. By any means. I'm halfway through paying off a 15-year-old truck, and you know what I mean. I live in an overpriced apartment that's tiny, and I'm not saying these things because I love everything that I have, and I'm putting in 6 months ago. I had nothing, guys. I didn't have a pot to piss in, but I barely had a window to throw it out of, and I've got so much more today, guys. I've got my business, I've got my self-respect, I've got my self-worth, I've got love for myself, I've got community, I've got family, I've got friends. I've got hope. I've got the business. I'm taking courses at Harvard University, guys. Like, my life is amazing today. Absolutely amazing. And I don't say that in a braggart way. I say that because it's the truth. It is literally shocking to me, and it's funny because I suffer from the same emotions everybody else does, and the weather gets good, and I'll have a moment where I'm feeling lonely, and I'm like, oh, why am I not with somebody? But I'm such as because I'm still putting my life together, and that's not where my focus is. And then I'll stop and I look at the culmination of everything I've done, and literally a bad thought can't live in my head for more than a minute because I'm able to look. And the comparison is a thief of joy, guys, unless you're comparing yourself to where you were before in regards to how far you've come, and that's joy. Like literally, guys, every time I start to get down on anything, I just stop and look at the culmination of where I'm at, and then I decide: is there a lesson in this? Is there something that I need to be paying attention to? Am I getting this negative thought because there's something? Am I overlooking something? Is there something I need to step up to make something better? And if that's the case, I do. And that's the beauty of being intentional, guys. It's glorious. It's absolutely beautiful. And every one of you can do this. Anybody can. Whether, like I said, regardless of where you're at in life, regardless of the situation, we should all want more. But the key is finding out that you have the power to do so. So oftentimes we're sitting here thinking that we are the victim of circumstance, and you're not. We are the allower of circumstance. We have allowed the circumstance to keep us where we are, to provide us what we have, and we've determined our reality by our thoughts and beliefs from yesterday or from today. So if you're not happy with what you have, and you genuinely want more, and you're willing to do the work, understand that it starts with you, and the fastest way to do it, I talk about this every single video, and I always will, is to develop a relationship with your higher power, and then find your path. It may not be like mine, but I like to share the one that I'm taking because it's the only one I know, and then it's also one hell of a recipe for success. Guys, I've found my higher power. I have identified my shortcomings that I'm aware of, and every time, and again, as I expand and I handle one situation, it's the thing, guys, I pick one thing at a time, the most important thing, and I work on that so that I don't get overwhelmed. And as I get stabilized in one area of my life, I look at the next area, the next one that's glaring, or the next one I pick up on, and then I step out and I immediately go to work on that. And if I think the biggest fault I have right now is I have not taken enough time to appreciate where I am, but that's me. I've got goals and opportunities are coming in hard and fast, and I do, guys. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely do. Throughout the day, I'm joyous. I mean, people talk about it constantly. The joy, the happiness that radiates from me is insane because I'm that happy. Because I've chosen to look at the positive of everything, guys. And the thing of it is that absolutely magnetizes blessings into my existence. I talk about this all the time, and I'm trying to get better ways to explain it, but you got to understand that and again, the whole woo-woo vibrational alignment thing is so incredibly true, guys. I believe it wholeheartedly. Like, literally, I believe in that more than anything else, because it's been proven to me to work. I didn't know the definition of what I was doing when I started doing it, but now that I've been doing it for so long, I'm starting to find more things about it, and one of my resources, guys, I'll share with you is the Abraham and Esther Hicks Library. If anybody are aware of it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, go look it up. It is amazing, right? It is all about intention, and it teaches you just how much power you wield. But now, guys, keep in mind, it's also going to teach you that you're at fault or not at fault, but you are responsible for everything that's going on in your life. You can't blame. Even when somebody else is doing you wrong, you've allowed that. You've invited it, and I'm sorry. And guys, of course, don't get me wrong. I mean, if somebody is outright abusing you, molestation, like things of that nature, violent crimes, sex crimes, no, I'm not saying you are absolutely not responsible for that. Don't take me the wrong way, and do not allow that. If anybody's doing anything anywhere near like that to you, report them to the police. And that's funny, guys, because back in the day, I'd be like, shoot them in the head. No, because then you're throwing your life away too, and they don't deserve to have that kind of power over you. Report them to the authorities. Do things right. And that's a big lesson right there, guys, because I never did. Today, I go out of my way to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and it is so incredibly rewarding from every facet of life, guys. Not only does it bring blessings into your existence, and you never know, guys. I found some of the best things that have happened to me have happened because I've stepped out of my comfort zone and did something that was totally opposite of what I used to do, and it was the hard way, it was the long way, and 9 times out of 10, in the process of doing so, I bumped into something that had an opportunity for me that opened the door for the next major blessing that's come into my life. Like, as I sit back and look at this, it's like, wow, none of this has been random. This has been the most God-directed, miraculous rise, ascension that I could have never believed. And I feel so incredibly supported, so incredibly seen, so incredibly relevant. These are things I never felt, I never thought applied to me. It's beautiful, guys, and it's absolutely amazing, and it's because I'm doing the work, and it's nothing I'm special about, other than my desire and my willingness. And every one of you is capable, once you adopt the desire and the willingness to be intentional, to do the work, to be faithful, to give thanks. Being thankful in the state of gratitude is a huge, huge part of where I am. Guys, I can find gratitude in every single thing in my life. No matter how bad it was, I'm grateful because it brought me to where I am today. It brought me to the experiences that I have, that brought me to the knowledge and the just the resiliency and the strength. Like, you can find good in every situation. When something goes bad in your life, if you're living as intentionally as I am, you will immediately start to see the lesson in it. And the beauty of that is, you take that lesson, you apply it to your life, and that situation never happens again. Guys, life is about solving situational problems, right? I hate to say life isn't about problems, because life is beautiful. Life is about expansion and finding your joy and finding your path and finding people to collaborate and building beautiful experiences, right? But you're gonna have situations come up along the way that are gonna trip you up, and if they're repeating, well, then there's a lesson there that you haven't learned. You're allowing it somehow vibrationally into your life, and you've got to understand that. I don't say that to call you out. Please do not think I do. I tell you that because I was a victim of my own lack of insight for so long, and I thought it was just everything else in the world. But eventually, I had to understand that I was completely accountable. Now, the beauty of that is, when I realized I was completely accountable, that also meant I had the power to change it. And then I turned around and I did. I don't say this in a it can happen kind of way. I'm telling you, it was the direct experience of what has happened in my life. If you guys watch me here and you know my story, nobody's ever going to sit there and try and tell me it isn't true. Guys, we'll come up 118 minutes. We're going to call it a wrap for that. Guys, please take these things to heart. Understand that you have so much more power in your life, but you've also got to understand that where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you're focusing on the lack, focusing on the negativity, focusing on the problem, you're never going to find the solution. When you focus on the blessings that you have, when you pay attention to nothing but the good in life, when you constantly give thanks for every blessing you have, and then not worry about, just understood that you will be taken care of as long as you're doing the work. You can't sit on your ass and do nothing all day and expect things to show up in your existence. But if you get out and you take the action steps that you're told to take, and by prayer and meditation, and you focus on the good in your life, you focus on the blessings, you live in a state of gratitude. I don't mean say the words, guys. I mean feel the feelings. Get yourself to a place where you're grateful. Look at the good in life and just chase joy. Then good things are going to happen to you. I promise you that. I swear to you on that. Guys, always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next one.